Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the double slow team here, which I really want to try out as, of course, right now there are a lot of people running Gardevoir, there are a lot of people running the Galarian Rapidash, and this is the perfect answer for this. And if you saw the team earlier, they're showcased already on my channel. Of course, this one that I'm running here right now is a full hard counter against it. I'm actually not sure if I actually encountered the team that I showcased earlier. I don't think I did so far, but definitely this team would completely destroy that one. And here we're going to also see already a great matchup for us. We saw already the Gardevoir in the back, and now we're going to have the slow bro against us, which we're going to go for Surf. Yes, they're going to let this move go through, but I just want to have some damage onto the opponent. I don't actually really care if they're going to use a shield or not. I just want to have the damage onto them because my end goal here right now is anyway that I'm going to farm them down with my Galarian slow bro in the back, which is going to do some super effective damage against the Gardevoir. And my opponent, of course, has to hope that I don't have the bro in the back, so they're going to let this move go through. Right call by them, but it doesn't work out because they completely destroy the Gardevoir now with our poison jabs, and this is going to be still a very fast team, as you can see here right now. We're going to be able to now take a look at the next team. We're going to be a Victini in the lead. I actually don't really like this one too much, as we are going to go ahead and go for a foul play. Maybe not the right play against this Pokemon. Actually, I would recommend you to not do this and just basically stay in and wait until they go for a V-Crate and then go for your charge move, because their main goal is, and that's also why a lot of people are running a Victini in the lead, just go for a V-Crate and then swap out, which is very smart as they survive basically any kind of charge move from anything. And we're going to have a very hard counter here right now with a Malamar against us as well. So this is not really looking too good right now for us, as we can still at least hit a Shadow Ball against the opponent. Maybe they're going to let this move go through, but they're going to use a shield, and at this point, this game is basically over already. There was not a lot that I can really do here, but I just kind of misplayed the lead, I would say. So yeah, Malamar in the back is a little bit awkward to deal with, but your own Malamar is supposed to win against those, so it's a little bit tricky, as we're now going to see that the opponent can farm me down. Very well played by the opponent, by the way, to swap out here, but there is not a lot that I can do. I'm still going to try, but they're still going to be able to just get into their Malamar if they want to, but it's going to be actually the Rapidash coming in. Maybe if I played this a little bit differently, I maybe still had a chance. Let's take a look at this. They're going to go for the Body Slam, and they're going to go for another Body Slam afterwards, but I decided to go for a charge move here. Maybe I still actually had a chance if I just went for the full farm down here. I think I actually did, and I kind of misplayed it with this one, because another Body Slam wouldn't have knocked me out, and I think I might have been able to farm down in time and then had enough charge move damage or pressure in order to knock out the opponent. So this was a little bit of a silly one. I still maybe should have been able to win this game if I played it better. Next opponent, we're going to have another Victini against us. They're going to go, of course, for the Recreate, and this is how we usually kind of would like to play it. Most likely, as I'm going to actually use a shield on my Malamar. We have an ABB line, so you kind of want to keep your lead alive as well. But we can now move on into our slow bro, as we're gonna get hit by the high horsepower. If you saw my video earlier as well, I was also running high horsepower on the Rapidash. Very cool tech move, but I didn't really expect too many people to run this one as well, as it's, of course, a little bit of a tech move. Like, you kind of also want to have the Mega Horn, as it's going to allow you to hit like those Psychic types for super effective. But high horsepower is a great move to cover for the Slowking as well as the slow bro. But I am going to be able to now go for a foul play against the opponent here. This is going to do enough damage to get the shield at least, and we will see the opponent going for their own charge move, going to be the Hyper Beam. So we're both running Hyper Beam here, and if they use a Hyper Beam, I'm of course going to also try to use a Hyper Beam against them. This is going to get the opponent super low. I'm forced to go for a charge move here. Maybe I should have tried to farm down, but I think they would have got to move before, and I have to hope that I can now outspeed them to the Shadow Ball, and I can. This should not get the knockout right now, and it does get a knockout. So we actually were able to win this game, which was kind of similar to the game before, but we just played a little bit differently. We're going to have the Malamar lead next. Malamar lead going to be, of course, a mirror here right now, which is going to be a little bit awkward, as we are gonna see right now the opponent gonna go for their own charge move, going to be the foul play. You can opt to go for the Hyper Beam, and it's actually more beneficial to stick with foul play here, sadly, because Hyper Beam does a little bit less than 2 foul plays, and which is fine, because I think you also need less energy, but you're not going to put the opponent into a farm down range with this one. But here, I'm just going to go for the Hyper Beam afterwards. Let's see if it's going to land. It does going to land here right now, and I'm going to use my shield now to try to get some energy lead with my Galarian Slowking, but the opponent decides to swap into their Gardevoir for whatever reason. I'm fairly certain I can just go for a Surf, go for the full farm down, and have a great time here right now, and we will see that the opponent going to let this move go through, allowing us to get even more energy, and we see the Clay Doll coming in, as we can go for the Surf, and this Surf is gonna do some fairly decent damage, but it's gonna get shielded, so I'm only going to be able to get to another surf here, not gonna get to the Shadow Ball, doing still around half of the opponent's health, and I'm forced to go into my Slowbro, which is going to have access to surf, which is going to be also nice, but I decide to swap out here, trying to catch the move from the opponent. Did not work out, but we're going to have a CMP tie here against the opponent as well, which they're going to win, but I hopefully can farm them all the way down, but we will never find out because the opponent decides to forfeit. Let's take a look at the next opponent. We're going to have another Melamar against us. And of course, our Melamar mirror, we're going to just go for the foul play here right now against the opponent, or for the Hyper Beam. Let's see, Hyper Beam can also come in clutch. Let's see if the opponent going to expect this one. They do not, and we're going to get them fairly low as we're going to let the move go through as well. But you see here already why this is kind of an issue. Sadly, Hyper Beam just barely does not do enough damage to knock them out straight away. I really hope that we're going to get someday like the Shadow variant of Melamar. I feel like this would be such a cool Pokemon to have, but still we can force a shield by the opponent here right now, or get the knockout, which is totally fine for us, as we now see the backline from the opponent. And Galarian Slowking is going to be such a nice glue for this team, being able to actually have a great matchup against both the Slowbro as well as the opponent's Rapidash here. So like this, we're going to be able to use a shield against the Surf, go for the Shadow Ball, hopefully going to get the knockout here, would easily going to get the knockout. Let's see, it does not because the opponent uses a shield, but I can just go ahead, let this move go through. The Surf is not going to get the knockout here, and I can just go ahead and go for my own Surf if I wanted to, but I can even go into my Shadow Ball. The Shadow Ball easily going to get the KO against the opponent. I can swap out immediately, and the opponent's Rapidash is now up against my Slowbro. I'm actually going to let this move go through. For whatever reason, it's going to be a Mega Horn. It does not matter. I can go for a charge move, and this is going to be a very good game as we're going to move on now to the next game coming up. We're going to have here the opponent having, let's find out. By the way, all games that I played with this team are in this video. There's nothing cut out, so if you played against me, good game to you, but you're also definitely going to be in this video. We're going to have the Melamar against us. We're going to be able to go for a foul play here, hopefully, but the opponent decides to go for their own foul play first, so we're going to know already that we're going to lose a CMP tie, which is kind of sad. But we will get the shield from the opponent, expecting that we have Hyper Beam, which we of course do have, but I'm not going to go for it straight away. I'm going to go for it right now. But the opponent going to do this as well and going to get the knockout. This is the cool thing about Hyper Beam though. You're going to be able to have those matchups where you can just go for the Hyper Beam blindly and just get the knockout after one foul play. Great play by the opponent, of course, but yeah, of course, if we would have been able to win CMP, it would have been very nice for us. But we are not, so here we're going to have the match up now against the Cresselia, which can go for the Moonblast, which is going to be resisted for us, as I'm going to go for a Shadow Ball against them, which is not going to get the knockout, but I can still go for a Surf to get the knockout and guarantee the knockout right now, still leaving me with a little bit of energy advantage, as we're going to see the Rapidash coming in. They're going to go for a charge move here, which I'm going to let go, as I know that I still have, of course, my Slowbro, which is going to get even more energy here, but I can even go for a Sludge Bomb. Surf doesn't knock them out from this range, so I'm gonna go for the Sludge Bomb, and they decide to let this move go through, allowing me to have now the matchup of Melamar against our Slowbro. The fast move is chunking away. I know that I'm going to have to shield all the foul plays of the opponent, but as you see, we have two Surfs already. Gonna go for the first one here, gonna get the shield from the opponent, and one more Sludge Bomb is all it takes to get the knockout here for sure, as we are gonna see that we can move on into the next game. We're going to have another Melamar lead. Definitely quite a lot of Melamars around in this cup, and also let me know in the comment section, how do you like this cup? I actually saw a lot of people on Twitter, or like X now, saying that they actually really enjoy this cup. I actually don't mind it. I think it's like one cup that you can play for like 3-4 days, and afterwards it's getting a little bit boring. But I actually don't like it. I actually don't mind it right now. I actually don't like it most likely for 2 weeks. But at least after this week of Master League as well as this cup, we're going to have Great League back. Stay tuned for a lot of cool content coming up for that as well. I have a lot of decent ideas as well for this kind of period for Great League again. So stay tuned for that one. But most likely, because we're going to have this kind of cup as well as the Master League around, you're going to see a lot of alternative content coming up for the upcoming week. I plan at least on bringing out a content guide, basically, or like alternative content for both Monday, or actually not both, like for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and also on Thursday, and then of course the top teams for the Great League again, which is going to be then actually just top teams without considering just having buffed Pokemon, because there are a lot of cool teams that were kind of figured out afterwards, so definitely stay tuned for that one. As they're going to get wrecked by Victini here. Look at this, by the way, the opponent plays this really, really well. I definitely want to give a shout out to the opponent here for playing this insanely well, and basically maneuvering the Victini to a perfect sweep here. Like, if I was the opponent, I would make a short out of this for sure, as they were actually able to recreate my entire team, and great energy management here from the opponent. So congrats to you, great win, great loss for me. Of course, they're like amazing. They are definitely like losing against opponents like this, no, but like they played it really well, so I kind of want to give a shout out there. There's nothing really that I can say otherwise than good game to the opponent. If they play so well, they definitely deserve that win. Let's take a look at the next game. We are going to see the Melamar against our Slowking. Actually, now the Shadow Ball kinda does make a lot of sense, but let's take a look what they're gonna do here. They're gonna go for a foul play. Okay, so I'm gonna go for the Surf Spam because I expect them that they're going to want to keep their Melamar alive, which turns out is not the case, so at least I'm still going to get most likely a shield here. Hopefully. Let's take a look at this. We definitely do not. And now we are 2 shields down, but we still have 3 Pokemon, which are all kind of healthy. So we see the opponent going into their own Slowking, allowing me to go for the Surf, trying to get the shield from the opponent. So I'm going to try to now align, of course, my Melamar against the Slowking, as I'm going to get my shield back. But also I'm going to try to align my Slowbro in the back against the opponent's Rapidash. So maybe actually I still have a fairly decent play here for winning this game. They're going to go for the Mega Horn. I hopefully can just farm them all the way down, but I actually cannot. But it's not even the worst, because I should be able to farm down now with my Melamar here, trying to get some extra energy, and like this I should get the knockout against the opponent here, because I should be able to outspeed them to the secondary foul play, as the opponent only really can go for 1 Shadow Ball right now. This is gonna do the most amount of damage. It's not stab though. Like, this is the thing for the Slowbro, it's the same timing as the Slowking. So Slowking here, while it mainly runs like some ghost type moves, it's actually not a ghost type. Also, of course, for the backline, you have to consider that Surf is a legacy move on all Slowbros and Slowkings that are currently running around. So definitely make sure to use an Elite TM if you want to build this Pokemon. Don't use your charge TMs for this one, because you will never get Surf on this one. So we will see the Slowbro coming in, which is gonna be a little bit tricky, but we're gonna have now the Bruxish, where you can at least still get a shield advantage against them, which I'm going to take, but I'm going to definitely lose this shield advantage immediately with my Melamar, as Melamar is going to shield up the incoming Awkward Tail, as Awkward Tail would do around like 35% damage, and I don't really want to do this, especially in this kind of meta where a lot of is like with fast move down opponents. You kind of want to use your shield when it does actually make a lot of sense, and here it definitely did make a lot of sense. And look at this, speaking of fast move down, the Gardevoir gets fast move down, which is kind of unusual, but very cool for us, as our Slowbro is just so strong. Honestly, this team is amazing. Can highly recommend you to try this one out. The Galarian Slowking is definitely a very great safe swap in the current meta. Melamar can be a little bit tricky for this team, but sometimes we are able to just go for the... Oh, they go actually for the Hyper Mew. I can just go for the Foul Play here right now. Foul Play is the better play to go for. We're gonna get the shield, and of course, you know what we're gonna do next. We're gonna go for our next foul play. This is gonna get some more damage onto them, and I can try to go for another one, but they're gonna use also their charge move here, as I'm going to use a shield. This is going to be their own foul play. Let's just try to get them a little bit lower here, as they are already below half health. I think they still survive this one, and they do not actually. They definitely have like a very bad IV Melamar. Like, my Psycho Cut must have done like 1 more extra damage or something, because it doesn't make sense otherwise. So here we will see the Slowking against Slowking. So maybe it's Slowbro against Slowbro in the back. That would be kind of interesting, as we're going to now have the Shadow Ball coming in. I can go for the Surf Spam. They're going to be able to realign for sure against me, but with Surf Spam, I'm at least gonna get a ton of damage onto the opponent, which I take more. And actually would have been able to realign as well if I had a higher attack stat, which is kind of sad, but it is going to be okay, as we're going to see Slowbro and Slowbro. So we have the exact same team here, which is kind of hilarious. But who's going to win this game? Let's find out together. So we're going to be able to get some damage onto the opponent. We can try to go for another Surf afterwards. Surf is the best move that they can have here, so like they're not going to go for anything else. Sadly, there's no great coverage move on the Slowbro, otherwise it would be way better in this cup. But we're going to get the near knockout, but the opponent goes straight for a charge move here, which we can catch onto our Melamar, allowing us to get more farm with our Slowbro, and this is going to be a win here, right? It is not. 1 HP or like 1 fast move away to get the knockout against the opponent. Sadly, the Surf going to get the knockout against us. So great game by the opponent, very close one. Same team is kind of funny to see, but yeah, this is not going to be like the secret sauce. Like, a lot of people actually going to use this team, and was also on my top team video. This team is out already. This is not something that's like special or like crazy thought of this is like one of the more common anti-meta lines here, as Slowking is going to be able to destroy, of course, those Gardevoirs, those Rapidashes, as we are now seeing the opponent going for a Hyper Beam against us, which we're going to shield up, which is going to put us into an amazing spot. This was totally unnecessary, as their foul play is going to do super effective damage against us, but this Hyper Beam is now wasting so much energy from the opponent, as we now have, of course, the switch advantage. We're most likely going to get our shield back here as well, as the Surf is going to get, of course, the shield from the opponent. They're still going to be forced to go for their own charge move, but if they just go for the Surf, I'm still going to be able to survive it. And honestly, I could have actually even went for one more fast move and went up to a Shadow Ball, which would have been so much better for me, forcing either the knockout or another shield. But sadly, like this, I'm going to now have not really that advantage. I'm going to have to take a Shadow Ball here, and I can at least still get the knockout, hopefully, but it depends on what they're going to have in the back here if we can still win this game, and it's going to be the Slowbro, of course, which is already very low, which we can just shield up the move and farm them all the way down. So this is going to be it also for today's video. I'm a little bit sick, as you maybe hear from the audio already, but this is totally fine, hopefully, still. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.